Hello, everybody, and welcome to another one of our talks here about the Scourge of Ghyran. We have a doubleheader today because we've missed a few. We've missed one. We missed yesterday. So we have both Sylvaneth and Maggotkin to get through today. Kind of fitting. A fitting duo.
We've got not only that, we've also got a little extra science to do because I didn't do any science on Ogre's Day, so.
Yeah, I appreciate you not doing the science without me. Let's jump into the science now. If you're new to the show and you're not sure what's about to happen, we do this segment where we take all of the Age of Sigmar models imaginable slowly over time, and we add them to the ranking, the definitive ranking of the best models ever.
Yes.
I would have.
Try to leave your feelings at home. This is scientific.
This is scientific. I try to. I try to let people know what you're getting yourself into. We will be talking Nurgle. We will be talking Sylvaneth here in a minute. Bear with us. And in fact, this is really important for you as well as it is for us. So, Ray, we do have 9 models to get through today. 3 Ogres, 3 Nurgle, 3 Sylvaneth.
Yeah, we're going to have to get through these pretty quickly. Everyone put on your quick science.
Yeah.
Gloves, if you have them.
Okay.
I don't need them because I'm accredited.
Yeah, so. Yeah. He has a certificate to not need them. Okay, so Ray, right out of the gate, we've got the Iron Blaster.
Iron Blaster, cool model. I like it. I don't know what that thing on the front is, but I'm here for it.
The thing on the front?
What is that? Is that a stone? That's not a stone horn. It's a.
That's a Rhinox.
Rhinox.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah, Rhinox is a little too small for an ogre to ride. It looks like it's not a Mournfang size.
Yeah.
They
do have stone wheels. Have you noticed that? Stone wheels like the Flintstones?
So ogres are kind of funny. In their a big part of their lore is that they are really into black powder. They're one of the few black powder armies, right? You've got Cities of Sigmar, you've got KO, and presumably
KO's not really black powder, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, right. Some kind of energy or whatever it is they're shooting. And then you've got ogres who kind of barely have an understanding of it, apparently, and get a lot of theirs from human kingdoms and stuff. Trade with dwarves or just trade with people, or just taking it when they ransack a place. Yeah, this is an interesting model. I guess we'll come back to it. Let's move on.
I like Flintstone wheels.
Flintstone wheels. Okay, we're jumping around. We're gonna, I guess, be jumping around. OBS loves to decide on any random order for things. We've never been able to figure out what the order it picks is. These are Revenant Seekers.
Revenant Seekers are neat.
Not the best Revenant Seeker picture. The only picture was this one, and then 3 spinny ones, which are never good pictures to use.
Yeah, those are always overexposed pictures. These are okay.
Yeah.
They're not really moving the needle for me, if I'm being honest. I'm curious what chat thinks.
Well, you get
not that I will take their feelings into account when we rank it, but
right. What they think. What you mean, like what they know to be true scientifically?
Yeah. Tell us what your research has told you about Revenant Seekers.
So you've got the tree. You've got the Revenant, the Tree Revenant, which I think is a really cool model. You've got the Flying Cicada.
Is that what it is? Is it cicada?
I find it most based off of a cicada.
Okay. Cicada's the coolest bug, for being honest. Dragonfly is much cooler. Should have gone with the dragonfly.
Yeah, I think it's weird because its 2 individual components are kind of cool, and you're right. It should be much cooler, but for some reason it's only kind of mid.
Yeah. Now this is a model.
Okay, Drycha.
It's got boobs. It's got a mech suit.
It does have more boobs than you would think. It's more boobs than you're really prepared for. You're like, oh, this
Especially
is
in a model of trees.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like GW doesn't do a lot of this. They don't do a lot of this. And when they did it, it wasn't where you thought it was going to show up.
Yeah.
You didn't think Sylvaneth would be the army that just full frontal.
Yeah, they were watching like, I don't know, Evangelion or something. Like, you know what? Let's just do that. For trees.
Yeah.
I think this is super cool conceptually.
Yeah.
Like, tree mech is awesome. Tree dreadnought.
Yeah.
Or if you're more 40k minded.
Right.
That being said, there's some things that don't quite work for me still.
Mm-hmm.
If you have tryptophobia, that you're hating this. I don't, but
I don't. Hot take. Very few people do, but because the internet called it out like 12 years ago, everybody now thinks they do, but really nobody does. I understand the slight discomfort element of it.
Yeah.
Right, because that's where like bees and stuff come out of, like little. If you ever see like inside cameras of beehives, it's terrifying.
Yeah. It reminds me of hives. It's funny. It reminds me of hives, not as in hives, like a beehive, but like if you have like an allergic reaction, your skin all gets all welted up and gross.
Yeah. I think she's. I like this model a lot. We'll talk a lot about her today.
We'll come when we come back around.
The humble glutton.
Is it a glutton? That's what it's called. Well, I thought they were called man-eaters.
No, you asked for man-eaters, and I did not do that because man-eaters are. I don't even know if they're on the site, and they're very stupid. Man-eaters are the ones that.
You don't like ninja ogres?
No,
You're right. That would have been too good. We would have had a new number one.
No, man-eaters are. So it's funny. I have some man-eaters. I have some ogre stuff. That's the foot ogre stuff, and I've never really pursued painting it because Brad now has the army. By the way, we'll be playing this army foot ogres on Saturday for the first time on the channel. Yeah, few firsts coming this Saturday, so we're excited. I was gonna say that I got rid of all. I like traded away all the man-eaters that are the dumb ones.
There are no dumb ones.
They're all dumb. There's the cross-dressing one. There's the pirate, and there's the ninja, and I got rid of all of those. And
I'm sorry, that sounds like the best army possible.
I don't. Yeah, they're all They're all a mix of problematic and poorly executed.
All right, just redo an AOS. Got it.
All right, how do you feel about the humble glutton?
I don't like it. Next.
Why don't you like it?
Because it's old.
Yeah. So you got to compare this guy.
The proportions just feel dated.
Yeah, you got to compare this guy to the Bloodpelt Hunter, right?
Yeah.
We think that's the direction ogres are going. They have made an ogre since the Bloodpelt Hunter. It's actually for cities of Sigmar.
Yeah.
Some people
don't like that.
Some people.
Did you know that?
What's that?
Some people don't like the semi-fit ogre for cities.
Yeah. I like the semi-fit ogre for cities. I love the Bloodpelt Hunter. I hope when they remake this line, I've said this over and over again, this needs to be a horror-inspired army. It is a horror concept, just running around eating everything. And I really want to see them focus on, Deliverance, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, rural America, like hillbilly America. Yeah, that's the design aesthetic I would love to see the studio go with for this. Like, give these guys trophies, hunting trophies, grim trophies. They already have that. Shouldn't be much of a stretch. I think the Bloodpelt Hunter is the perfect starting point for this army.
Yeah, I think that'd be a really good aesthetic, and also just gets their proportions back into modern standards. I've also said I have this big hunch that this army will be the 5th Ed starting army. This army is going to get like the Skaven rework. Yeah. See it?
We shall see.
Unfortunately, it's going to be Chaos Dwarfs for you, so...
yeah, probably will be Chaos Dwarfs. Yeah.
All right, then we have the Goblin Scrap Launcher. This is the alternate build for the Iron Blast.
Nobbler Scrap Launcher.
Sorry, not what'd I say?
Goblin.
Yeah. Yeah, no, not goblins. This is, I think, a little bit cooler. It's a little more fun than the Iron Blaster.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's very similar.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. You got the Rhinox in the front. You got the Stone horn or the Thunder tusks there. You got the stone wheels, the chariot. It's pretty much the same. Yeah.
All right.
Flintstone wheels. Okay, now we've got. I picked Lady of Vines as one of the ones we would cover today.
Okay.
How do you feel
Lady
about?
of Vines is
Yeah.
like, you know, Sylvaneth isn't like super to my taste, but I recognize like a coolness when I see it.
Yeah.
I like Doc Ock.
Yeah.
She's Doc Ock from the trees.
Yeah. Lady of Vines is interesting. She almost looks. So some of the Sylvaneth almost look like very alien, like sci-fi aliens almost. Like when you first zoom in after you shoot like a one of the Halo aliens, and you walk over and crouch down and look at it. You're like, oh my god, it's weird looking.
I mean, if I squint my eyes a little bit, this looks like a Tyranid model with the dangly arms and
somewhat, somewhat, yeah. They're very unsettling looking, which is I think part of the goal.
Makes them awesome.
Yeah.
I think pretty cool. And then something I absolutely gel with.
Back to Nurgle. I Puscoil here.
I think these are awesome.
I think the Puscoil is my favorite Maggotkin model.
I think if you look at Chaos Mortals, this is probably it's one of the best.
The Curseling.
It's very different than everything else you see for Chaos Mortals.
Yeah. If we're not including Zangors in that, or even if we are including Zangors in it, I mean
even silhouette and size.
Silhouette. No,
right?
Yeah.
Models like this.
Right. You're right. You don't see anything else like this. This is kind of I mean, Nurgle in general, right? They've got the brothers, and you don't get that too much with the other factions. Yeah, I love this model. This is my favorite Nurgle model. If I played Nurgle, I'd want to mostly focus on Puscoils. Yeah, kind of hard not to love these guys.
Highly scientific.
This is James says, "Oh yeah, so this is the Lord of Afflictions. Technically,
yeah, it's the ultimate build.
It's basically the same. Yeah, that's annoying actually because
remember that.
I know that's sort of annoying because GW actually does have separate entries often for these, and I did the Puscoil entry. Okay, Rodigus. We're going to talk about this guy today.
I love Rodigus.
I guess the real Rodigus question is, how does he compare to a Great Unclean One?
So, I mean, they're obviously very similar, but there's a couple of things. There are a couple differences. I don't think the Great Unclean One has a face coming out of his arm.
No, I don't think so.
If you notice, if you look at his left hand there's a whole face there. With eyes and everything. That's really cool. And teeth.
Yeah.
I actually weirdly don't like the hood on Rodigus.
Oh, interesting.
I think if I was building Rodigus, I would give him a normal head.
Okay.
And his Gnarlwood staff is neat.
I mean, the hood is the only clothing he has on, so it's a little weird.
It's a little weird. He's not, even Winnie the Pooh put a shirt on.
Mm-hmm. Rodigus couldn't be bothered, but he clearly understands.
Got a hoodie and took the shirt off.
He clearly understands the concept of clothing, just isn't interested in wearing very much.
Yeah, well,
it's
luckily for all of us, his gut is hiding anything.
I was gonna say it's gross to imagine there's a smelly wiener down there under that thing. All right.
The only part of him that's clean, actually.
Speaking of guts covering smelly wieners, more guts covering smelly wieners. How do we feel about plague bearers?
You know what? Weirdly, I think they're right on the line of they could probably use an update.
Yeah, they have.
They don't need it,
right?
But they look very squat and
right. I was looking at Brad's. Oh, I don't know. I've been doing photography for the studio. I was looking at Brad's a couple weeks back and thinking, well, how amazingly they're painted, and how good they look. But seeing these two here, I do feel like you're starting to see Also, I know GW loves kind of like the lighthearted humor aspect of Nurgle, but in their latest model, the Horseman guy, they've kind of moved away from that.
Yeah.
And these guys don't reflect that move. They're still very silly, very funny. Would you want to see Plague Bears lose that kind of humor and maybe be scary looking?
So you know what's interesting is in art for Plague Bears, they've also kind of flip flopped.
Yeah.
If you look at them in art, they're like really terrifying. They're actually like really sad. Like the rest like Nurglings are kind of funny, but Plague Bears are actually super depressing.
Yeah.
But they are going to be like the bulk of your army, so I don't know. I guess you need to question like what is the aesthetic of the overall army, because if the only thing that's funny is Nurglings, then it's not funny.
Right. They show Nurglings and Plague.
I mean, it's the beast.
Yeah, they show Nurglings and Plague Bears in Black Talon, and it's a battle at the end of the first season, and they're not cute and funny in that either.
No.
They're pretty awful. There's like a scene of 3 Nurglings like attacking and like bringing down an old like steel helm man, which is pretty grim. There's like Plague Bears being like stabbing people and doing being awful. And they're not really like smiley and cute looking.
They're all counting and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would be cool to see that look reflected in the like kind of grim art.
Yeah.
But also, I could see them just keeping it like this and just making the poses a little less. What's the word? Static.
Yeah, they are kind of like. Yeah. All right, this is actually where we're starting. So where do we put these guys?
For all that I said, I still think they're pretty good, but they're not going to break. They might be like halfway point. Let's see where we are. We're at 63. Let's start looking around the. Nah, okay, actually no. Let's keep it low. Let's keep it around here.
How do they compare to a Clan Rat and Vigilor? So I feel like this is an interesting little spot here. Arcanaut Company.
Unfortunately, I don't think they're as cool as any of those.
Really?
I mean, there are things about them that still hold up.
Okay.
Like, I think their weapons still hold up. I think their banner still holds up. It's just the poses.
Are they better than Mortek Guard?
Yes.
I think they're better than Mortek Guard, right? So where do they fit in here? Arcanaut Company. Then we get some of these other non-infantry kind of basic.
I think they're actually right above Mortek Guard. I think a Mighty Lord of Khorne is also in that kind of dated but potential, but I don't think it's quite as good as that.
Okay. Play. What is happening? What is going on? Okay. Mighty Lord of. Okay.
Plague Bears. Mighty Lord of Plague.
Okay. Plague Bears.
Next.
I feel good.
We gotta go that gut reaction.
I feel good about this. Scrap Launcher. Or no, Iron Blaster. Iron Blaster. I think this thing sucks personally, but leaving opinions out of it.
It's weirdly again in this kind of like it's just kind of a weird, slightly out of date model.
Yeah.
Cool. Lots of potential. Would like to see it reimagined.
Yes.
I think you put this right above Mighty Lord of Khorne.
Right above, right around here. He's hanging out. It's not as cool as a gun hauler. No, I agree.
No. There's a little a gap here. There's a trench between gun hauler and Iron Blaster.
Okay, then we move into Revenant Seekers.
I think this is.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Were you gonna say lower?
I don't think it's lower, but it's not much higher. I think controversially.
Okay.
I just don't think it's a very neat. It doesn't inspire anything to me. It's just a very. Yep. That's a guy riding a bug.
Oh, just jump right in and say, how's it compared to a Chain Rasp?
I mean, it's better than a Chain Rasp.
It's better than a Chain Rasp, but I don't know that it's better than a Carrick Acolyte.
I don't think it's cooler than a Carrick Acolyte.
Yeah, I think that's...
Actually, I don't think it's cooler than Loot Smash. No, it is better than Loot Smash Fanatics.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right there.
Revenant... Is that spelled right? I think so. Revenant Seeker. Okay.
It's just not that interesting. It's a ghost riding a bug. How is it like? How am I like? Okay, whatever.
Yeah, it should be cooler. I think they mix. I think where they might have missed the mark is kind of like you said, not having like a more ornithopter like style with the wings on the bug.
I also think it's on a very flat trajectory. Like if they were a little more like,
yeah, this isn't the best
tilting
picture. This isn't the most fair picture. And to be honest, that's why I think they show all spinny pictures on these guys. Yeah, they show spinny picture for all 3 builds basically. They're like, here's yeah. Okay, next we've got Drisha.
She can go up.
Yeah, Drisha is up.
Highly scientific, biology.
Yeah, but how
engineering?
How scientific? Is she better than Asar's
very,
Old Blood?
Very scientific.
Is she better than Asar's Old Blood on
Yes,
on
but not as
Dinosaur?
cool. Is she cooler than Crethusa? She's like right in that territory.
She's in that territory. Dark Oath Wilderfiend, Crethusa.
I don't think she's cool as a Wilderfiend.
No, me either.
I know that's gonna make some people sad, but
I agree. I'm right on the cusp with Crethusa. Is she cooler than Crethusa? Crethusa's got.
She's cooler than Crethusa because she is multiple science. She's multidisciplinary. She's got engineering, biology.
Well, yeah, but remember, Crethusa's got a little bowl that she's burning shit in, and ravens, and feet,
and ravens,
and her little dainty feet.
Yeah, but this is okay. This is the classic.
Feet versus boobs. Feet versus.
Yeah, feet versus boobs.
Boobs. You're gonna win. Sorry, feet.
That's science, baby.
Yeah, that's science, baby. All right. There's Drisha.
Now, if we get the great unclean to show this wiener, then
if he wants to do better, he needs to show more.
Yeah, he needs to show a little ween.
All right. You don't like this guy.
No, go down. Scroll way down. Lower.
Oh wow. Yeah, you don't see the whole thing. Okay, this is it. Is he better than Mortek Guard?
Yes. No.
No. Okay.
No.
Is he better than a Hearthguard Berserker?
I honestly, I think so.
I think so too. I personally think he's right around here. I like him a little bit more than a Mortek Guard, but I could see why he's not better.
No.
Poor Glutton.
That's really sad for Hearthguard Berserkers.
Yeah, they're significantly. Well, I think they're a newer model, not by much. Maybe.
They are newer, and they're just not good.
Scrap launcher, more like crap launcher.
More like crap launcher. Am I right?
The Iron Blaster is 59. Does the scrap you know what it is? It's the Rhinox. The Rhinox looks like a cartoon.
And the Flintstone wheels.
The Flintstone wheels and the Rhinox. I expect that Rhinox to be like, it's a living.
I like this one better than the Iron Blaster.
Okay, I think so too.
I like a little whimsy.
It's intentional whimsy. The cannon on the back of the Iron Blaster is just ridiculous. Like, I don't believe one Rhinox can burn in that cannon. It does.
No.
Yeah.
They shoot that one time, and that whole thing is
that Rhinox is
done.
That Rhinox is gonna look spatch cooked after that.
Yeah.
All right. Is it cooler than a gun hauler though?
You know, I said no, but I'm. It's definitely not cooler than Squig Hoppers.
No. Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
Here.
I think that's. We could look at it again later in the great revisioning of science later, but.
I'm guessing it's one word. G3 likes to do that.
Yeah, I think it's a Noblar scrap launcher.
Oh yeah, all one word.
Whatever, it's fine. We know it. It's not going to get confused with a different scrap launcher.
Okay, Lady of V's.
Higher. Not that much higher though.
Yeah.
No, she's higher. She's higher.
Is she cooler than Bastion?
I mean, I don't think so.
Is she cooler than Miramidish Painbringers? Otherwise, we hit.
It's really sad when I feel like a character isn't as cool as a base model.
It happens. It happens all the time.
Miramidish Painbringers are pretty freaking cool. So are Freeguild Cavaliers.
Yeah, maybe Chaos Warrior. Maybe she's under the.
Honestly, Yes, squares are really cool too.
They are cool.
I think we can put her there.
Is it right around here?
Yeah. If we put her any lower, someone's gonna send assassins to our houses.
Someone's gonna send like a flower that kills us or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Appleberry or some
It's a flower, but it's actually just a grenade.
Some Sylvaneth fan, yeah. Okay, yeah. Puskoil. Scientifically, this guy's up there for sure.
Yeah. He's showing his mouth parts.
Yeah. Does he crack the top 10?
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of see where I think he goes scientifically. I'm wondering what you're thinking.
I mean, he's cooler than the Changeling.
Oh, wow, that's quite high up. Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I think he's cooler than the Changeling.
The Changeling, okay. I would have put him in between Abraxia and Slangors, but you like him in between Slon.
I like him more than Abraxia.
Okay.
It's kind of crazy, I know.
Okay.
I don't think he's better than Slon Star Master.
Okay,
though.
So he goes in here.
Yeah. Fat frog on a chair is just too cool.
Yeah. Okay, we got a couple left here. We've got Rodigus.
Rodigus is also going to be quite high in my opinion. I think this model is like just both versions of it are great.
The Great Unclean One and Rodigus.
Yeah.
Does he crack the top 10?
I think so.
King Broad is now 10. He's the one to beat. Fiendbloods, Abraxia.
I think he's cooler than Abraxia.
He might be cool.
He's cooler than a Changeling.
Rodigus in particular might be cooler than Changeling. I don't know about the Great Unclean One. I think the Great Unclean One for me is kind of probably in the teens.
Really? I think the Great Unclean One's better than Rodigus.
I almost do, but I like Rodigus's pose. I like his antler.
Cool.
I'm kind of with you in the hood, but everything else other than the hood is kind of like perfect.
Yeah. I could see him right. Put him right below the Changeling.
Right below the Changeling.
Yeah. I think he's cooler than Abraxia. I love Abraxia, but she's just not as cool.
That A can't be right. Is it? That's gotta be right.
I-G-U-S. Rotigus.
Rotigus. Okay. I think we have one left.
Oh
no, we got it. We did it. We did all 9. That was pretty fast. That's pretty scientific of us.
People say we should have put it at number 7 for Nurgle.
Here we go, folks. Here's our full list. Like it and love it. We have only one faction left to do this with.
Yeah.
They said it'll get the blood pumping. That's nice of them, but by process of elimination, tomorrow is Soulblight. We're not confused by that at all. It makes sense that they would be last because they just got a book. Looking here though, this is how we've done. This was quite an addition. This took us up to almost 70. Oh yeah, over 70. 72 models ranked. Maybe after
number last.
I think after tomorrow, after we add 3 Soulblight models to this array, we need to post this list in our Discord. And let the debates begin.
Yeah, people can post their revisions.
Can't really debate science.
And then we can point out scientifically why they're wrong.
Yeah, we can compare them to flat earthers because that's what they'll be. You'll basically be a flat earther if you don't agree with us. Okay.
Bone Shaper is 69 for sure.
Yeah. Bone Shaper. Okay. Let's chat a couple things here, including Maggotkin. I think we want to give the people what they want. People are here to talk about Maggotkin and Sylvaneth. So I'm going to jump into the browser view. This is Sylvaneth. We'll get there. Let's get here.
We are going to pretty much blast through Maggotkin because they did come out yesterday. I'm sure people who really cared about them have already seen the rules, but we want to give our quick takes on them as a Maggotkin player.
Yeah. Saray plays Maggotkin for the channel along with Brad. I wanted to hit the fact quick here while we're on the page, Saray. Let's just get it out of the way. Yep. They talk about manifestations, very little. One thing that's really nice about the new manifestation cards that they've talked about is that oftentimes, even on the app, the summoning information is separate from the everything else. So they've done this in a way where they're it's kind of classic gamer design how I interact with the game when I build it versus how you interact when you play with it. When you play with it, you want the summoning information and all the information on the card in the same spot. That's not really how they've approached it in the past, but I'm glad they are now. That'll be very convenient.
Yeah, I wish they would do that with the other thing that got updated today, the battle profiles and points.
Yeah, do we want to talk about that quick or at the end?
We can just talk about it. So they updated if you go to the downloads page on Warcom, they updated the battle profiles, legends, and what else?
Regiments of Renown. So battle profiles, go ahead.
Battle profiles is very basic. They updated some regiment options. I think on Seraphon you can see a change. But nothing else really. Just a couple of regiment options, which is, it's not nothing, but I don't think we really want to dedicate a lot of time to it. Considering all the other stuff we can talk about today. For legends, I think they may have added a character or two. I think Malineth is in there now.
Okay.
Although I thought she was already in there, but
interesting.
What else? And then Regiments of Renown, I'll be honest, I didn't see anything.
Okay, yeah. Did anyone in chat see anything interesting in any of these? I think they're trying to just button things up for the new GHB, which is exciting. So, okay, cool. Let's chat Maggotkin.
Cool. All right. So, like I said, we're just going to kind of run through this quickly. There's a lot of interesting stuff here. I think what Maggotkin really wanted, and they unfortunately didn't get, was new battle formations. I personally feel like Taliban of Nurgle is just way better than anything else. A lot of the other battle formations are like a once per game move in the beginning of the game. It's like that's not something to build a battle formation around.
That's the Puscoil one, yeah.
Yeah. I think there's an option for like Deep Strike, but the point is everyone's bringing Taliban because that's just better. So was hoping to see a battle formation, we didn't. What we did get is we got some heroic traits. So it's starting off once per battle in any combat phase. If you charged, you can give out a diseased keyword. It's good. Once per battle, I don't love.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, why?
It should have just been a passive.
That's what? Oh my gosh, wild. Okay.
Yeah. Again, I don't know what's up with these once per battle things with Nurgle. There's a lot of them.
I saw this one yesterday when I was skimming these, and I was like, oh, that one's okay, and I imagined it was every turn.
No, it should just be a passive. If you charge with this character, you give out diseased keyword. Don't love it, but there are worse things, I guess. Mm-hmm. Speaking of passive, which is really neat, if this unit is not a priest, it has priest 1. If this unit is already a priest, add 1 to chanting rolls for this unit.
Ding ding, winner.
Yeah, especially because Maggotkin of Nurgle don't have a prayer lore. Or they didn't.
Or do they? Yeah.
The last one is Corpulent Avalanche. This is any charge phase. So they figured that out for this one. If this unit charged this turn, pick a visible enemy unit with 1 is to be the target. Roll a number of dice equal to this unit's move characteristic for each 3-up, inflict 1 mortal. If any damage points were allocated to the target by this ability, this unit can move 2d3. It can move through the combat ranges of enemy units, but must end that move in combat with the units it was already in combat with at the start of the move. This is good.
By the way,
we're seeing so many 2d6 moves. It's funny to see a 2d3, but whatever.
It's Nurgle.
It's Nurgle, right?
These are very interesting. This is becoming so prevalent. The little bonus movement.
Yeah.
Outside the movement phase, good players and folks watching right now that want to get good, tune into this because this is a way to win games. If you can just get that extra 2 points on an objective, and these are whenever you see somebody with an ability that says minus control, add control. This is the better version of that because this lets you move around onto objectives where you want to be. This one's good. I don't think, and sorry, I just glanced over the 3 existing ones, none of which are like real bangers, in my opinion. I think the preacher, the priest one's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah.
He froze. Perfect. I'm right. Whatever he's about to say is not right. Unless it is. Zach, you're right. The priest is the best. Let's now look at the prayer lore to confirm that the
I
priest
froze.
is the best. Yeah.
I'm
No,
back.
I filled in everything you were
No,
thinking.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that, well, I generally agree. I think there's Corpulent Avalanche can be good.
Yeah.
Nurgle does not have a lot of fast models,
Yeah.
but there are ways, like it's okay on a Puscoil. I think they have 8-inch move.
Lord of Afflictions, yeah, is 8-inch.
Lord of Afflictions has, I think, 8-inch move. If you put on a Demon Prince, which you can do, that gives you 12-inch move.
Kiki in chat was just talking about this on the Demon Prince.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Gives you, I think, 12-inch move. And we'll see in a second that there's ways to increase movement.
Yep.
So let's talk about these prayer lores.
Yeah, this is a good lore.
Unless I'm mistaken, I don't think they have, like, okay, because they didn't have a prayer lore, they didn't have priests.
That's been part of the dilemma. The guy on the horse, the new guy on the horse, is a priest.
He's a priest,
now,
right?
I think he has his own. I'm pretty sure he is. He owns that. Has his own War Scroll spell. That guy is another model. We see that Matt Rose is actually lifting up a lot of models, often without using it through the War Scroll. Witch Elves, Sisters of Slaughter, and Daughters of Cain come to mind. That guy on the horse just got significantly better. Harbinger of Decay just got significantly better because of this, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy that they had a priest without a prayer lore.
Yeah.
A generic prayer lore. Okay, so prayer lore, these all go off on 3s, which is good.
Yes.
First, we've got infectious surge. So you choose a priest and then choose another unit wholly within 12. Add 2 inches to the target's move characteristic for the rest of the turn. In addition, the chanting roll was 6+. For the rest of the turn, the target can use charge abilities, even if it used a retreat ability in the same turn. Movement is something this army needs. Talking about moving that Demon Prince up to 14-inch move to do your combat 3s. 3-up mortals is pretty good.
Retreat and charge in this army is virtually unheard of.
I think they have the demon flies.
The little flies
without taking damage. I think they can.
I think they can charge too afterwards. Yeah. They have.
I know they can retreat without taking damage. So yeah, I mean it's good.
This is a great one, and you know what I love about all 3 of these prayer lores also? It's not just that they go off on 3s. A lot of the new daughters ones, for example, go off on 3s. I bring them up because I'm most familiar with them. But all the daughters mega churches are 8. All the mega churches here are 6s. You could roll that on 1 die.
Yeah, true.
I don't think they have any pluses anywhere quite yet, but like, they could get a plus actually. If they
have it to magic in a couple of ways.
If you took the priest one on the Lord of Afflictions, he would then get +1.
Yeah,
I think under most circumstances you're probably better off with a second priest, but yeah.
Yeah. Then we have
that's also
vomiting.
sorry. Real last thing worth pointing out. That's the unlimited one, by the way.
Yes. Yeah. That is the unlimited spell.
Yeah.
So being able to give out lots of movement and retreat charge is very good.
Yeah.
Then we have agonizing vomiting. This is pick a friendly Nurgle priest and then choose an enemy unit with an 18 that's visible. Roll 7 dice. If the chanting roll is 6 up, add 2 to each roll. For each 5 up, inflict mortal damage on the target. It's fine.
I mean, it's 3 ups if you get a 6 up.
Yeah.
That's quite good on 7 dice. That's probably 4 or 5 mortal damage.
3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah, I like this.
Dealing a couple mortals is always good.
18 inches.
I mean that's good.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Depends on your build, but this is an army with some shooting, which means you're starting to do the thing that ogres are good at doing, which is I need to charge in the charge phase, and I need to get myself free to do that. And this helps, right? Between disease from the previous round, then you got this, and then you got a little bit of shooting. You might be able to get out of combat with the 6 health model you're stuck in combat with.
Yeah, and then we're going to talk about Rodigus and both his Scourge of Gyran and his new variant, another way to do mortals out of phase. Then we have Frothing Mucus. This is pick a friendly priest, then pick another unit wholly within 12. Until the start of your next turn, charge +1 damage weapon ability has no effect on combat attacks that target the target. If the chanting roll was 6+, weapon abilities other than the companion weapon ability have no effect instead. I don't like that instead. I wish that was in addition, but
that covers.
oh, does it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is shutting down weapon abilities is kind of like a new hotness defense right now. We're seeing that a lot of units are only mediocre when they loot like Chosen. Chosen's still a fairly scary stat line or Vanguard, but when you remove crit mortals, it's like instead of that right away learning that you're taking 8 wards, it's like okay, you got saves.
This is taking off charge damage, which is much more relevant or much more
Right.
prevalent.
I was
Yeah, putting knights back down to 1 damage when they charge makes them limp noodles.
right.
This is gonna work on a lot of characters.
Yep.
Um, quite good. I don't know if it's as good as no crits.
No, but you can get no crits, right, on the 6. That's the point.
Yeah.
And
Unless it's against a companion, though.
no. So the way this works is weird. This is what the guy, my Deepkin guy. No weapon abilities work. The only rule you continue to acknowledge is the companion ability.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
It's extremely
wow.
it's extremely powerful. So yeah,
That is
it shuts
wow,
down
yeah.
it shuts down crits, it shuts down all kinds of crits. It shuts down plus the damage, it shuts down anti-blank rend.
Wow, that's
All those
very, very
all those are gone. Yeah. So it is super strong. The first part of this, I know people were saying, "Oh, there's a lot of cavalry right now. We're in a cav meta. It's good." I agree. It's super situational until you need it, and then it's exactly what you want. Like put it on Plague Bearers when you're playing against a guy who's running like 2 units of Blood Knights or Borrow Guard or whatever, and you're like, "Cool, here's my Plague Bearers." You're so much worse against them now on the way in. And Borrow Knights.
Sorry.
No, go. Just Borrow Knights are hot right now. Also, they have crit mortals. So send Borrow Knights in to a unit play like they're worthless. They're worthless. You might as well send Death Rattle in at that point. It's just like it's
and only on a 3.
Only on a 3. 6.
And if you're using your 1 priest, it's a 4.
Right. 6.
Although I don't know if the Harbinger of Decay is a unique. Is he unique?
He's not unique. No.
He's not unique. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, probably one of the best models in the game.
One of the best models in the game. Yeah.
Good. Also, sorry, we missed Nick. We missed Nick's member chat.
Yeah, Nick says late to the show. Dredge is back. Huzzah, Nick. Yeah, good to hear from you. Nick is a big a SoCal painting guy and playing guy, and a Sylvaneth guy. Nick, good to hear from you. Hope things are going well. Yeah, I'm glad.
Shall we talk Rodigus? New Rodigus.
Let's chat New Rodigus. It's the only war scroll. We have Rodigus? We don't usually use them very often, do we, Sarai?
I've brought him a couple times.
Okay. How do we feel about the new one?
I actually started bringing him more than the Great and Clean one in the last few games.
Okay.
He's quite good. I think he's pretty good in his current iteration. I don't think quite as good as the Great and Clean one because you can't bring Warlord traits on him. And there's a build with the Wither Stave and the healing in combat with diseased characters that you can't put on him.
Mm-hmm.
But he does have 2 more health. This is compared to a Great and Clean one. His stat line has not changed as far as I can see. But what's changed is his abilities. So he used to have an ability where he could cast a spell, and every unit that was diseased would take. They would make a disease roll, which is extremely good.
Pretty good.
Extremely good, especially when you're in Taliban. I have Nurgle. That could be really rough to be if you have a lot of disease on the table. His abilities now are he has Befouled Rainfall. So this is subtract 1 from save rolls for enemy units while they're within 6 inches of this unit.
That's wild.
That's amazing.
That's wild. It's not
a huge base.
It's not just him. It's to the enemy unit.
Yes, not wholly within.
Just within.
Within.
This is wild. This guy wants to be in the middle of the board in scrum. Just to keep reminding your opponent, -1 to your save, -1 to your save, -1. All turn 3 and 4 long. Yeah.
So I'm a little. I think you have to actually build around it a little more because we're losing bodyguard, like we're losing his a little bit of durability. I know it's crazy. He's 22, going to the 4-up save and a 5-up ward. He's tough.
The damage is out there to pick up anything. Somebody can. Yeah.
You can pick him up if you need to. So you do need to give him a little protection, a little bit of a screen so models aren't quite getting into him. Maybe you want some other way to heal him too, with like Emerald Life Swarm or something.
You can give -1 to wound with your
like,
he himself is a wizard, so he could cast it on himself, right?
Yeah. So like, don't think he's invincible, but he's tough against most, in most situations.
It's like there's two things that we now know will take him out: Witch Elves, which we've known for some time, and now Carnosaur.
Yes. You're right through him.
Don't allow souped up Witch Elves or Carnosaur into him.
Yeah.
You should be fine.
Nothing. I'm actually curious what the math is on that. If you give him the -1 to wound, do they get through him?
Who? Carnosaur might not. Witch Elves still will because it's just so many dice.
You think so?
Well,
it's 1 damage.
Especially if they have Mind Razor. But if they don't,
I think that's 2 damage.
If they don't have Mind Razor, they typically force like they're forcing on average it's like 50 some. If they're 80 attacks, it's like 50 some saves. It's like low 50 saves.
Okay.
At Ren
he could survive.
At Ren 1, yeah.
He's a 5-up board.
Yeah.
-1 to wound.
Yeah.
4-up save. Anyway.
Yeah, he could just barely survive.
And if you turn off crit mortals against him, or crits against the crit autos.
Yep.
With popping mucus.
That's big. The dinosaur, I think, can pick him up too, but everything has to kind of go right.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, virulent downpour. This goes off on a 7. He has a +1 to cast, so it goes off on a 6. Add 3 inches to the range of this unit's befouled rainfall ability for the rest of the battle. This unit can be affected by this ability multiple times, and the effects are cumulative.
And then why not
inflict 1 mortal damage?
Why not
on each enemy unit within range of that ability?
How many points is
this? Is amazing.
How many points is this guy?
He's not that expensive.
Where's the?
I think he was 400 for the he's like 400 something for the standard. Let's see, how much is he? I think this is amazing. I love this ability. This reminds me of Death Guard in 40k. Last edition, I don't know what their current rules are. I haven't played them in 10th. But reminded me of that miasma of pestilence where, if you're within a certain range, you just take debuffs.
Right.
This is better because it's just damage. So
he's 430. He's 430. Okay.
That was his old price, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's quite good. The trade-off now between new Rodigus and old Rodigus is, okay, are you wanting to do damage with his out of phase disease rolls, or are you wanting to turn down saves, which is something the army needs, that they don't have great rend, and then also doing mortal damage against them. So I think this kind of changes what your army build a little bit. Interestingly enough, I think this makes you want to use Blight King's Mortals, whereas regular Rodigus is like more, just more units to hand out. Disease rolls for like Demon Flies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, last rule. I already talked about Bringer of Plenty. That's his +1 to casting rolls. They have Tentacular Grip. This is once per turn, any combat phase. Pick an enemy unit in combat with this unit to be the target. Roll a dice. If the roll exceeds the target save characteristic, inflict an amount of mortal damage on the target equal to the roll. It's kind of a weird one.
Yeah.
It's like weirdly easier against highly armored targets.
Which is the thing we're seeing. Yeah. And I think it's good. There's a lot of things I'm starting to see pop up where you want to have more armor is good. I will say this about Rodigus, and this is not anything new or much of a surprise. His weapon profiles did not change, and it's weird when you think about it. He is really more of like the wizard Great Unclean One. I think he actually hits less hard than a Great Unclean One. This is not that scary of a weapon profile.
No.
For 430, and that's okay. That's not what he does. He's a wizard, and he's a buffing piece. Or debuffing piece, and he is a tar pit. But I was like, oh, this guy has it all. And I was like, actually, I'm not that worried about him in combat.
No. No, he's not crazy good. I mean, remember, if you're in combat with him, he's gonna be Rend 2 and Rend 3 on those.
Yeah.
Um,
His rends are better, but his number of attacks, honestly, but hits on 5s and wounds on 5s, the Nurglings. But
yeah. But also don't forget diseased rolls.
disease rolls, yeah. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. Granted, but he is toned down a bit because you look at that weapon profile and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty comfortable sending 20 Harridans into this guy. He's not going to pick very many of them up.
For reference, a Chaos Exalted Champion is probably scarier.
Yeah. Also, his
is like 100 points.
I'm citing a unit that is not affected by modifiers to armor saves and saying, yeah, yes. I'll send 20 Harridans. Yes, of course, I'll send 20 Harridans. Routing sucks against Nighthaunt. Period.
Yeah. Exactly.
But the point is, it's kind of good. Yeah. The increasing the range thing makes this guy a huge target. This guy absolutely gone ASAP against most of my Deepkin, Daughters. I'm sending some kind of missile into this guy if and when I can and taking him out because I'm not dealing with a 12-inch bubble rating from his fat ass all over the board of my...
So 12-inch range of I'm taking mortals and you're reducing my save.
Not dealing with that. So he's gone as soon as he can be, which is not going to be easy. This is a great army at screening things.
Good screens, good toughness.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Awesome. Right, that's Maggotkin.
It's a good. It's a good one.
It's a good update. I still think I would have liked to see battle formations, but I can't complain. We got a whole new prayer lore.
The prayer lore being there probably took up the room. Yeah, and listen, I can honestly say for the heroic traits, unfortunately, when you look at the new ones and the old ones, in my opinion, there's a clear winner, which is the preacher. The second is the avalanche, which isn't bad at all.
No, it's not bad.
Diseased would be good if it wasn't once per battle. This is wild.
Yeah, Living Plague would be amazing if it wasn't once per battle.
Wild call. Okay, should we chat Sylvaneth?
Yes, so you're going to take the lead on this one. You know more about Sylvaneth than I do.
I do. Okay, currently we are seeing a lot of... let me see the name of it. We're seeing a lot of the same battle formation. It's typically outcasts that people are taking. Sorry, I remember the name. I forget exactly what the rule is. That's sort of the one we're seeing. So these are the ones to beat. Battle formation. Sorry, outcasts is subtract 3 from the control scores while they're in combat. Oh wait, no, Lords of the Clan is what we're seeing. Sorry, when the unit uses the endless growth ability, they heal flat 3 instead of D3. This is the monster. So this is especially when people tech into the trees. Okay, 2 new battle formations. I think these are good ones. Okay, Stirring Life. Pick 3 friendly non-hero Sylvaneth units within 3 inches of a terrain feature. If the target has a health characteristic of 1, return up to 3 slain models to the target. That's only Dryads, by the way, in this army.
Okay.
If the target has a health characteristic of 2 or more, roll dice, then pick one of the following. Heal, or return a number of slain models to the target with a combined health characteristic that's equal to or less than the roll. So this is recursion. It's classic recursion. Yep. I think it's good. I think it's better that... I mean, it's funny. It essentially, unless you specifically want to tech into trees, it essentially cancels your need to ever take Lords of the Clan. You're just like, why would I take Lords of the Clan? I'll just take this. Okay.
I mean, once per turn is quite good, right? That's because that's both your and your opponent's turn. Does it say if they be in combat?
No, but it is only one. It is only one unit.
Oh, interesting.
So,
okay.
So you can't do it all over the board.
And still Witch Elf.
Yeah. Okay. Next, Duskwalk. Friendly Sylvaneth heroes can use the Walk the Hidden Paths ability even if it has been used by another friendly unit in the same phase. There's a case to be made that this one is going to be very exciting. John is in chat. John, gab along with us. Do you like either of these two? John and I are actually playing a practice game today, right after this show. This one looks interesting. I will say this. Sylvaneth are a hero-centric army. You're seeing Durthu, Spirit of Durthu. You're seeing Lady of Vines, even the Warsong Revenant. You're seeing people use these all the time. And as just a quick reminder, Hidden Paths is essentially the striking. It's the once per turn, remove them from the battlefield, and then set them up near a wildwood 9 inches away from enemies. So it's essentially 2 teleports at the end of your turn. Yeah. Okay, John's using this today. Cool, in the game. That's funny because the battle plan we're playing today features teleporting, and like everything we're doing, and I'm playing Deepkin, which will feature teleporting. It should be a hilarious game. Artifacts of Power. Currently the one to beat is the gem. Get back up on a 3. Sylvaneth are the ones the original owners of that. Now we're seeing it pop up everywhere, and I think a lot of people are like, I don't know about that. John was pointing out to Meg, Seraphon got the option to have this ability. John was pointing out to Meg on Saturday before the game that it is a bit of a deterrent more than you think, because the odds are the unit gets back up.
Yeah.
And lives for one more turn. And it makes a player say, I don't really know if I want to deal with that. Like, because if I kill it and it gets back up,
then it's just wasted.
Do I have something else there to kill it? It actually usually happens right away. Yeah, do I have something there to kill it? You have to suddenly put 2 decent units into this. And, if you're not...
Guarantee the kill.
Yeah. Okay. Competing with that, we have Glamour Weave. Each phase, you can reroll 1 hit, 1 wound, and 1 save roll for the unit. This is similar to the Glimmering for Cities of Sigmar. It is strong in the right hands. You put this on Spirit of Durthu, that is very, very good. Very good. The guy's got a strength.
Very, very good.
The guy has a damage 5 weapon. Okay.
That's very good.
Very good on somebody like a Durthu, yeah. Once per battle, all right, better be good. Better be good. Here we go. If there are fewer than 3 friendly Awakened Wildwoods, set up an Awakened Wildwood. Wholly within 12. More than 3 from objectives, blah, blah, blah. Also good.
That's very good.
It's good in a really unfortunate way, which is, I think, a lot of Sylvaneth players are going to feel like they need to take this, because if you cannot get your force out, then you're in trouble as a Sylvaneth player. You'll lose out on a lot of your army's tech, and your army needs this tech to work. Otherwise, you are elves doing nothing.
I remember I played a game against John, and like he just couldn't roll to get his Wildwoods out. It's like, well, his army's basically handicapped.
Yeah.
Because of a dice roll. So yeah, I feel you. It feels like Glamour Weave is like so tempting, but like a Court of the Ages is just like, well, this lets me guarantee I can actually play.
Yeah. Okay. Last but not least is Renew's Lematiri. Lematiri? Yeah.
Lematiri?
Anytime somebody tries to cast magic, you can make an unbinding roll. And if you beat it, you do mortal damage to the caster equal to the difference, up to a maximum of 6. Also very good. These are 3 wildly insane artifacts. Sylvaneth players, is one of your battle formations take 2 artifacts? Because that would be a good one. All of a sudden. Yeah. Yeah, these are strong.
That's very good.
That's very good. These are all very good.
So wait, this just gives you an extra... Sorry, does this give you an extra unbinding roll? Or is it just...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is also an extra... For what it's worth. And on top of that... So that's, James, going to be interesting, and John, is if you put this on the Warsong Revenant, who actually has a +1 to unbind, does the Warsong Revenant get that? I'm going to say it has the unbind keyword, and it's on that unit, so yes. But also, the instructions do not mention that. So that, for me, is going to have to get FAQ'd. Like, with the Warsong Revenant. Yeah, exactly, Mectoplasm. The way you phrase that sentence, it is the keyword unbind, so sure, question mark, is how I'm feeling about it. We'll have to figure that out. Yeah.
You thought Khorne and KO were the most anti-magic armies? It's actually Sylvaneth.
Yeah. Interesting.
Crazy.
Okay. We get 2 War Scroll updates. I think Drysha is the one people are most excited about. But I'm sure it's good to see Revenant Seekers bumped up a little bit. Drisha used to be quite good in 3rd ed. She ended the edition not amazing. So,
sorry, a weird bunch of little things.
yeah. Yes.
2 extra health.
Thank you, because this is a big deal.
2 extra health. 1 extra move.
Mm-hmm. Control and save are the same.
Yeah, I don't know about 10 attacks. What?
Right.
She's now 5.
Yeah. She used to have. Oh yeah, this is interesting. But she lost her shooting attack.
Yeah, she lost her shooting attack, which I think she used to be able to double.
So
they just gave her double.
Right.
10 attack.
Yeah. She.
Oh my god.
She's interesting.
Hitting on 3s, winning on 2s, red 2 damage. I love it.
Okay, yeah, this is a good profile. Crit 2 hits, only ever 2 damage. That reins her in a little bit here. Ward rolls, no ward rolls from Drisha.
Okay, reins it right back up.
Bit of a problem for a lot of armies. Her mortal enemy army is Nurgle, and so that's perfect for her.
How are you feeling about this with Witch Elves?
I don't. I don't really care too much.
No save, no mortals.
I can now that I can get 5 upwards a little easier with Witch Elves. It does matter a bit, but I don't know. Which in general, the way Witch Elves work is they're one or nothing, right?
Yeah. If they go, they win. If they don't, they lose.
Pretty much, yeah. Now you're not wrong. Like with some of the new stuff they have, you're kind of hoping you can get 4 or 5 left and then start recurring on them. But yeah, okay. She's got a spell. This is cool. I think she currently has a spell though. Yep, and it's the same. No, it's a new song. A new song from Drisha. She's releasing a new single. Everybody. Following Song of Spite, we get Twisted Spirit Song. Her songs have the word "song" in the title. That's pretty much only what.
Weird.
That's pretty much means that she's writing music at a 3rd or 4-year-old level. But that's okay. I wrote a new song, Mommy. It's called Mommy Song. All right. Pick a visible friendly Sylvaneth unit within 12, wholly within 12. Until the start of your next turn, +1 to wound for the combat attacks, including companion weapons. If the target is a non-Karnathi, add 1 to the attacks characteristic as well. So this is a nice little ability. Matt Rose has reined in what you might not want to let happen with Karnath Hunters or Belthanos. Because this one, Belthanos, is wild. Belthanos actually wounds a lot on 2 already, though. But this is pretty good. +1 to wound. This is a not always wounding on good army. So this one is good. Yeah.
So this is good.
So this is good. Imagine this, for example, on the unit on the other side of the page. Quite good. Yeah. Okay. Last is this charge thing she's got. If an opponent declares a charge within 18 inches, nice healthy range, the opponent gets to pick one of the following. Subtract D3 from the charge roll. If your opponent re-rolls the charge roll, still subtract D3 from that roll. Okay, fun. I like that clarification, by the way.
Yeah, actually, do it again.
Somebody was like, Matt was like, you know what? I can save myself an FAQ if I just say it right now.
Yeah, if I just say it.
Yes, you still get my thing. Okay, subtract 1 from hit rolls for their attacks for the rest of the turn, and add 1 to hit rolls for attacks that target the unit for the rest of the turn. Well, I'll be honest with you. So you can you can only. A lot of people don't know this. You can only reaction ability once per turn. So this is not a passive ability. Otherwise, it would be passive. So only one of your opponent's models is going to get hit by this. But that might be all you need. This is unenjoyable for so many armies to deal with.
I hate this.
It's funny because I saw somebody getting a little worked up on Facebook about
something.
Right? But about more armies having 3d6 charges. This is really, I mean, we are seeing some more powerful offensive abilities, but we're seeing some powerful defensive abilities. This is wild.
This is go ahead, charge me. I don't care.
This sucks. How much is C?
Hit on 5,
How much is Drisha? I'm wondering how much are these. She's 230.
Oh, she's
320. Yeah. Yeah. I think she's worth it at 320.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't want to play against this army now.
No ward on Drisha. Kind of interesting. This army is not rife with wards, so I can't say I'm surprised by that. It reigns true to the spirit of the army, I think. But
Went up 80 points. That's quite a jump.
It's quite a jump, but I think she's worth it. This last ability alone is good. Boy, it's cool because this is a debuffing army, and it always has been a little bit of a debuffing army. They're pictured here with their Night Haunt buddies, also a debuffing army. I like this vibe of spirits and ghosts with all their debuffs.
In the forest. And no one's doing anything? Nothing's happening.
Yeah, I always say, whenever you see these pictures, fighting or talking. In this case, they might just be flying around together.
Yeah,
let's go for a fly.
Excuse me. They're being passive aggressive, trying to walk past each other in a grocery store.
I have the right. I have the right of way, I believe. It's stated clearly in the forest rules.
Actually, uphill has right of way, dumbass.
Yeah. Nurgle, get out of here. Okay. Last and not least, Revenant Seekers. These guys have had a little bit of a glow up. They have. Let's compare their stats. I think they've changed a little bit. Let me pull them up. Revenant Seekers, guys riding beetles. The wheel is the same. Damage has gone up. Scourge sickles are currently called Seeker sickles. But they do
now they're Scourge because it's Scourge of Gyran.
Yeah, it's the same stat line, but 2 damage instead of 1.
They were crit mortals before as well?
They were crit mortals before, but yeah, just 1 damage. Sharpened mandibles used to be, these are the same. Yeah. Okay. 2-inch coherency.
Neat.
I think that is not changed. Yeah. Here's what has changed. 1, they have lost their heal. They used to just heal at the end of every turn, 3. They lost that. Kind of a big deal. Instead, and they also lost when they rally with 3 extra dice. So this unit honestly used to be a fast, quote unquote, attempt at a tar pit because they're fast. They could lock you in combat. They don't do much damage, but then they heal and they rally better. Although you can't rally in combat. Now. Pick a visible friendly Sylvaneth unit holding within 12 once per turn in the hero phase. On a 3-up, that unit gets a 5-up ward for the rest of the turn. So that could be them. So that's a better way of being a tar pit. Healing at the end of the turn is not helpful if the unit's been wiped out, right? So
not dying is better.
They're still kind of tar pit capable. I think better because of the ward they can give themselves or somebody else, right? I will say this. I have a Hag Queen, not to keep bringing up Daughters of Cain, but she gives out a 5-up ward on a 3+. I think in 15 rounds, she's done it twice. So does it usually happen for some reason? For me, maybe you'll have better luck on the dice, folks at home.
Yeah, I'm also thinking, I have this on the Chaos Sorcerer. Never happens when I need it.
Doesn't work. Maybe round 1 you get it. While you move,
no one's around
while we move up and twiddle our dicks, and then okay, now maybe double turn.
Turn it on now.
If you double turn me, you'll be in trouble. You're gonna regret it. Yeah, that's about it.
Turn it on. No. All right, but I'm all out of batteries.
Yeah, I think both of these upgrades to the Sylvaneth and the Maggotkin are strong. I think sorry, we might rank all of these in the near future. In the very near future, when Scourge of Gyran battle updates are over, which would be if we have a show this Friday, which I think we might. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I think this is an A. These both got A tiers.
You think so?
It's not the Daughters level or, quite frankly, who else got an S tier? I don't know, but it's that Tzeentch. Cruel Boys, I think these guys.
They got some nice things.
Yeah, it's not the ogre tier, which was like,
what the hell is
this? You guys like this army over there? Yeah,
no, we don't like it. We're trying to make you not play it.
Yeah, I think Night Haunt got got a S tier. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm thinking I like this. Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, it seems good. I could, I don't know anything about this army, but reading it, it's like, man, I don't want to deal with that, playing against that. So that means it must be pretty good.
This army, one of the things it really wants to be able to do, and why I think John is on to Wargrove of the Everdusk, is this army does really want to be able to do its hit and run garbage.
Mhm.
It wants to be able to show up. With this now, with Wargrove, you could... I think Brad is painting up Drycha for us, for the studio, for himself and John to play. But with this ability, you could teleport Drycha. Oh, she lost her shooting attack. Well, weirdly, you could teleport old Drycha. But you could teleport Karnath Hunters and with great bows and somebody else, shoot, and then just leave. Not even attempt a 9-inch charge. Yeah.
Seems quite good.
Pretty strong, pretty strong. We have one faction left, Soul Blight Gravelords. We know it's Soul Blight because of the process of elimination.
Yeah.
What do folks think Soul Blight are going to get? I'm curious, folks at home.
Prince Vordry.
Prince Vordry. Update.
Scourge of God. I actually don't. Let's see.
Haven't his points like gone back and forth multiple times?
I'm not sure.
Like by 10 points, yeah.
I don't know. They just got so much new stuff. What do they need?
I think the big thing I would be
a third version of Kato.
A third version of Kato. Yeah, Cursed City stuff with the Legends Mectoplasm. I see you there. Zombie stuff is garbage for sure. I think zombie stuff people are feeling. Everybody in third ed who bought 240 zombies, I don't feel that bad for them. But I feel a little bad for them.
Yeah.
I
want them to at least be able to play with like 60 of them.
They're in squads of 20, right? So I would say like if you have 80 zombies, you're okay. If you have 120,
just push it.
120, you're like anything over 120, and you're an asshole. And you know you are, so I don't feel bad telling you. Okay, awesome. So Ray, tomorrow is that. Tomorrow's also let's chat about this weekend coming up. So we have one game left with our current GHB. That game is this Thursday. Tomorrow, it will be Graham with his Disciples of Tzeentch, Scourge of Gyran. I'll actually be taking Cruel Boys for the first time on the channel. Our friend Andrew often takes them. I'll be playing his army. He can't always get out here as much as we'd like Cruel Boys to be on. I kind of dig the play style. So I'll be badmouth baiting Graham all game long. I'm very excited. We're going to be baiting all game, baiting Graham. I'm very excited. Last time we ran a train on Graham. This time we're going to be baiting him all game. Yeah. I'm excited. And then what we'll be showing off in the next couple days, we have a really big weekend planned and a week planned for the new GHB. I'll just say, without giving exact dates, starting this Saturday, over the next 7 days, over the next week, starting Saturday is the start of the week, we have 6 games planned over 7 days. So a lot of extra games coming in starting Saturday. Saturday will be a doubleheader. There's going to be a game Sunday, and then we'll kind of go from there for the rest. But be ready if you're excited for the new War Scroll to have us on the background and all week. If you're hoping to get some modeling done, a lot of Sigmar coming down the pipeline here.
Yeah. Should be exciting times ahead.
So Ray, you're playing Sunday against Meg.
That's right. We're doing a weird a weird day.
To
celebrate.
A weird day, yeah. So Ray will be playing Meg. That's always a wild matchup. So that should be a lot of fun. Did we do everything? Are we good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, folks at home, thank you so much for being here. I was waiting to say, be kind to each other, yourselves, and always be creating. Bye.
Bye.